So you're like you couldn't have set it up better, Rylan. You're going into what your purpose is. I know that my purpose is I'm a Sherpa, and who's the Sherpa? Well, the Sherpa is that guy that meets you at the bottom of Mount Everest, and he goes with you on the journey. And sometimes he's the guide, sometimes he helps you carry stuff, but he makes sure that you get to your destination. And part of my purpose, like you're just talking about, I know, hey, let's create millionaires. One of the points of this course is so that we can help our team members, help our friends, other people in this business, is to just get moving in real estate faster. So Napoleon Hill said, until a man selects his definite purpose, he scatters his energy and thoughts. This leads not to power, but to indecision and weakness. And once we start to figure out, so if you're inside of Keller Williams, you'll hear this talked about as your why. Simon Sinek just wrote a great book called Start With Why. Kent Burns wrote another one called, Getting Your Why. It's called purpose, it's called why, it's called your visions and your dreams, but the moral of the story is an understanding of where you're going. And then I like what you put up here for the quote for Andrew Carnegie. No man has ever been known to succeed without applying the principles of definitiveness? No, what's that word?
Definiteness of purpose.
Definiteness of purpose.
Kind of a tongue it kind of stumps you, doesn't it, that word?
Yeah, I love it. So, but basically...
And hey, by the way, this must have been written in the 30s, right? Because everything is about man and he, they seem to have forgotten about the women's movement back in the 30s. So, Heidi, just change it to the she, because it's that kind of old school. It's kind of cool to go back to the source, right? Like of all the motivational speakers today, but that's sometimes one of the downsides. It's all in the male tense.
I love it. Anyway, so just finding our purpose and finding who we are will help to propel us. Why one definite purpose? If success depends upon power, and if power is an organized effort, and if the first step is the direction of organization is definite purpose, then may easily see why such a purpose is.
Sorry, I probably typed this wrong. So sorry.
Yeah, I'm seeing something. Moral of the story: get a definite purpose. Okay.
Actually, could you go back to that real quick, Anton?
Yes, sir.
I want to say something about this. Now, for those of you who have studied Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill, Andrew Carnegie, in interviews with Napoleon Hill, it's very interesting the insights he had. He was the richest man in America, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with his story, but he built the steel industry and he kind of built a monopoly and was just incredibly successful. And he started. He started as I think he had like 10 cents or 5 cents in his pocket when he started as an immigrant. And what he said was really interesting, because he said that I could have made $1 million. I could have became the richest man in the world in any industry, because it was all about leadership. It was all about organized effort. It was all about focusing all of your energy on one definite purpose. And he built a monopoly in the steel industry, but he said, if I went into the insurance industry, I could have dominated the insurance industry. And what you're going to find is that success, the millionaire process, is all about getting a definite purpose, getting clear on what your goals are, and what's going to happen is you're going to attract other people to you, and then when you systematize those people into an organized effort, that's when that's how you get to the highest point of success. So just want to share a little bit about his background. It's very interesting when looking at his quotes today.
Rylan, what's your purpose? Why are you doing this? I basically already said mine. I like growing and developing people and going on their mission. I mean, I love that. that's why I'm doing this. What are your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, my big purpose in life, I can sum up in 3 words. It's financial IQ entertainment. And what I'm very passionate about is kind of, it's kind of similar to Napoleon Hill. It's one of the reasons why I have the radio show. Is because something that, we have a radio show on 1300 AM KKOL and 1590 AM The Answer. And, I absolutely love the radio because it's a constant journey to talk to very successful people, right? And to discover in real life today, just like Napoleon Hill did in the 1930s. I'm always curious about. Tell me your story. How did you become successful? How did you become a millionaire? What's your thought process? What's the biggest things you failed along the way? What's the biggest things that you learned from your failures? And for me, it's kind of like Napoleon Hill. It's discovering the laws of success, right? And it's also discovering the laws of failure. And Napoleon Hill wrote another book called Outwitting the Devil. And in that book, he talks about the importance of the laws of failure. And he says that, basically you're to the age of 7, most of your values that you have were pre-programmed into your subconscious mind at a young age. And what he says is the only way for you to get out of that. So if you grew up with a rich dad and had those mindsets, right? Yeah. That was ingrained in you at a young age. If you were like me, who grew up with more of a poverty mindset environment, yeah. Where in my upbringing, rich people were looked at as cheaters and people that manipulated people and things like that. That's the kind of mindset that I grew up in. And unfortunately for someone like me, right, I had to learn the law of failure, which means that I had to go through 2 bankruptcies and absolutely lose everything that I had worked so hard to get twice because I needed to pre-program my mind with failure, right? So what you're going to find is that taking action is always a good thing because 2 things can happen, right? You take action and you succeed, or you take action and you fail. And what you're going to find is that the more valuable of the 2 is actually the failure because that's when you get to reprogram, reboot your system. That's when you get to re-brainwash your brain and all that subconscious thoughts that you got at a young age. And that's really powerful because your mindset is going to determine how successful you are.
Yeah.
So I would say that. Yeah, when you go to my purpose, right? It's something that there's a few of us, maybe the 1 or 2%. Anton, perfect example. Maybe at a younger age or somewhere along the way, he just had a passion to go find, what are the laws of success and the laws of failure. But my passion is I want to take this to the masses, right? And for me, the way to do that is through entertainment. That's why I love the radio. That's why I love these type of video things, these coaching programs and things like that. Because for me, I my passion is I want to make it entertaining. I want to make it something that you watch Shark Tank. I go to the gym and everybody's watching Shark Tank, right? And I'm like, wow, that's cool, right? It's financial IQ entertainment. So that's my purpose. And to take it down to this year, every year you should be focusing on one definite purpose for that year. Yes. For me this year, it's all about building email lists. Right, everything I do, 40%, 50% of my time is like, how do I get more emails for my real estate, and how do I cultivate relationships with that? So I'm very clear on exactly what I want to do. But I appreciate you asking me.
No, I love it. Do you guys see how this can help you? And I know you're like, well, what about sales? It's really funny. We have to work on ourselves a little bit first and bring that into focus so that the sales just happen easier.
Before we go there, right, I'm kind of curious, maybe Jeff and Heidi, your thoughts. Have you guys formed some of this purpose in the past? Where are you guys at with that today?
Well, yeah, let's see. For me, I think my purpose is mainly in helping others to grow, to learn new life skills and new ways to be successful.
Awesome. Heidi, how about you?
I would say that my purpose is, I feel like I have a lot that I want to do, and real estate is a tool to help me get there. What I'm really passionate about is actually stopping slavery in other countries and in the U.S., and also human trafficking. So it's something that my husband and I want to be able to formulate like a nonprofit down the road, and to be able to maybe even start a clothesline called Abrogate Bondage that is completely fair trade, slave free, where people have that option to be able to find that. That's something that really drives us, but yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So real estate then is a vehicle to get to those goals. Is that kind of the real estate path that you're kind of going down? Is that how you see it?
Yes, so real estate is a good way too. I feel like, because I love interacting with people, I love meeting new people. It's a way to be around people on a day-to-day basis and have that, and to be also, like I was talking about the investment, investing in the properties, to have that income coming in, having that income stream, and being able to, from there, have that to help us also be able to fund and just start changing the world one person at a time, I guess, is our goal.
No, that's really awesome. And, you know, it's not really in this course, but there's so many awesome things you can do with charitable remainder trusts that, you know, buy real estate and use the cash flow from the real estate to fund the charities. It can be such a powerful vehicle. So just really cool, exciting stuff. Well, anyway, awesome. Appreciate you guys kind of talking a little bit about some of that purpose.